Hey everybody, Eric here from the Mature Minded Gamers Group, a group of adult gamers always looking for new members. Don't forget to click that like and follow button on our channel here, help us keep growing, and join our Discord. Link will be in the description below. Talk gaming with us. We do video games, board games, D&D, Star Trek. Today though, we're focusing this video on Port Royale 4. The new Buccaneers DLC just came out. I've been playing it. I have several videos up, but I realized I was making a huge mistake. And I figured out how to finally become a pirate. I'm going to share my secrets with you right now. Number one, be a pirate. Engage yourself in pirate activities. I was trying too hard to trade and set up stuff. Don't do that. And you can't do that as a pirate. Well, you can, but it's just not as effective. Number two, do manual battles. Okay. So you're going to be really tempted to speed things up and hit automatic battle because it tells you your convoy will win the battle and you will suffer hardly any losses. However, you do not want to do that. Why? Well, let me show you what happens. Automatic battle. Yes, your opponent has surrendered before the start of the battle. As the opponent has capitulated, only 92 cargo were plundered. So that's all we got. You know, and at first you're like, that's great. But if you don't do that and you manually battle them, they don't just unload cargo, you actually fight them. And so what happens is you can take over their ships, and then they'll buy their ship back, and they pay you an absorbent amount of money. Okay, now we're going to do a battle here where I actually manually do it. You see it's another merchant. I'll watch what happens here. And it's easy. It does take a little bit more time, but all you have to do is board them. And most of the time, when these little merchants are, they're not going to have that many people. They're going to have 2 attack ships, 2 merchant ships. And you would just sink them, game over. But when you have them so outnumbered, see, we get 100% boarding right here. Sometimes you may have to shoot them with some canister shot to lower their people down, you know, when you're first getting started. But once you get your fleet going, you don't even have to do that. So 2 moves. 2 moves, you know, I've got them. I've won the battle. So you're like, well, Eric, why didn't you just auto it? Well, let me show you. Now look what happened. Since I manually do it, I actually captured both their ships. I captured their crew. I gained some more attack. I gained their cannons. And I gained all this cargo. So instead of just getting the cargo, I got the most important stuff here, the ships. Because when I hit accept, I can get these ships back and look how much they're worth. Holy smokes. Almost $250,000 just in this frigate and this galleon. And that's what I was missing the first time I was playing. So make sure you manually do your battles with the merchants and you take over their armored convoy or whoever they have. Take over their ships. And I mean, not only can I switch it over to my fleet if I wanted, but I don't. I'm going to sell them back because I get that much money. So yeah, that was my biggest mistake I was making, using automatic combat. Don't do that. That's a no-no and it's pirate life. All right, my next tip for being a pirate successfully in Port Royale 4 is your captains. Pay very, very close attention. I was using kind of a junky captain who I've already dismissed, and I had him leveled up to 8. Like, I'd been using him a long time. But he was kind of terrible. Definitely get a captain, and you may take you a little bit to build up enough to get this captain, but get a captain that has Carpenter, the Carpenter ability. What this does, after a naval battle, 30% of the convoy's damage will be repaired. That's for the first star. And that's huge. I'm not going to lie. It's so big in this game. It saves you time. It saves you a ton of money. And you just repair after every combat. And that's even with the little merchant vessels. And so it's very, very effective. And if you get up to 3 stars, it's 70% of the damage. So make sure your first captain that you use in your main fleet has Carpenter ability. It is invaluable. By far the best skill in the game, in my opinion, right now. Alright, this next trick I'm going to show you is kind of a dirty trick, in my opinion. But we're pirates, man. I mean, we're supposed to play dirty, right? So see this little merchant coming in here? I'm going to attack it. Boom. Again, always manually battle these ships to get the extra rewards. But for this video, this part, I'm just going to hit automatic just to get it real quick. And show you guys what I'm talking about. And now, if I try to attack them again, it pops up and says attacking is not possible. You cannot attack this convoy because it has recently been defeated. That is true. But watch when this thing docks. I'm going to come over here and wait behind it. And and now I can attack it again because it docked. And now it's got another fleet I could potentially take over. So I can take another ship, make a whole bunch more money. So it's kind of a dirty trick to do, but it makes you a ton of money really quick. All right, next tip, we're going to talk about the ships. So there is pretty easy to get galleons. A lot of merchants will have them. You'll be able to capture them even with your 2-ship, 3-ship fleets to get started. I highly recommend you switch out and get the galleons. They are great little ships, all-purpose, and they only require 1 command point. And then when you start getting bigger, you're going to run into some war galleons and some ship of the line ships. Those are awesome. Get them. Like you see in my fleet right now, I'm rolling with 2 of those, 2 galleons, and 2 military corvettes. They all have different abilities. I really like the grenade ability that the galleons have. And this lure can be very useful to the ship of the line, and this outmaneuver is very good for the war galleon, not to mention the amount of guns that they have. But to get started, definitely recommend galleons. They're easy to get, and they're very strong ships that have a lot of cargo space and quite a bit of cannons. So that should be a good first fleet for you. Next tip is when you get a little bit farther along and you're actually taking over a town or sieging it from the coast like I am here. This little red is your progress bar, and it takes a lot of time to do this, and you're going to have enemy military fleets come after you and try to stop you, and those damage your ships quite a bit. That's one of the reasons why that Carpenter skill is invaluable. But there's also another trick that I use. So even though I'm sieging right now, you see this merchant coming in, I paused it. I'm going to actually attack them, and it's going to stop the siege. But let me show you what happens. So what this does, if my ships were damaged, and I did this automatic or manual, like I said, manual is the way to do it. What happens is when I get done with this combat, my ships get repaired 70%. So any damage done, my ships are back up to full. And that's going to be very important when you have military fleet after military fleet coming in and attacking you. And so then when you come back out here, you just click again, and it starts your siege over, and you see it starts over from where your progress was. And that slowly ticks back up, but it takes a while. So doing that is the way to do it and get your ships repaired easily. All right, the next tip is for when you finally have this place sieged and you have some options. You can leave it be, which I don't really know what the purpose of that is. You can plunder the city, which seems to be what most of the missions want you to do. So if you're just aiming to complete a mission, that's what you want to do. But the third option is you can annex it. And so what that does, unless you have established your own pirate nation, which you can't do until you have your concessions all filled up here. You have to have all 19 unlocked, and then right here where it says Declaration of Independence, you can found another nation. But we don't have that done yet. It's going to take a while. Now I'm getting close. We still need to you have to have 9 armored fleets. So that's going to be the big holdup for everybody. But here's the pop-up that happens because our blockade was successful. You can spare them. That's the one that I said I wasn't really sure why you would do that. You can do the plunder, which is the one that most of the missions seem to want you to do. You can do the annex. So what this does, since we chose England from the start, this is going to make the town English, but it also puts me in charge of the town, which is pretty important. And so that's the one that I would recommend that you do, unless for some reason you don't want to be in control of it. So there we go. And we have now annexed for England and been appointed the administrator of the town with immediate effect. Here's another tip. When you have to pay to have your ships repaired, so if you don't have the Carpenter skill or it's too low, or you just took a bunch of damage, you need to do repairs, it takes days to repair. There's no reason to have a full crew while you're repairing, so whatever city you're at that you're repairing in, make sure you drop them all off. They'll still be there when your ships are done and you're ready to go. I've never had them disappear. There's no worry about losing crew, and then that's going to actually save. See, my cost is $36.15 without crew on, but if I load the crew up, I'm up to $82. So more than half of my daily cost is cut by dropping them off. Let them get a beer at the tavern while your ships are being repaired. And that'll save you quite a bit of money. Not as big of a deal in game or medium game even, but early game it's a pretty big deal. All right, that wraps up my tips for becoming a pirate in Port Royale 4 with the new DLC Buccaneers. Check it out. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to actually get fully through this skill tree and unlock it where I can make my own nation and then to see what happens. Hopefully I'll have a video of that when I get there and maybe some tips to help you get yourself there as well. Don't forget to hit that follow and like button. Help us keep growing the community here and have yourself a great day.